right?
People need to just calm down. It's gotten ridiculous.
Welcome to WCPT 820, where facts matter.
Quite frankly, I get most of my news from you.
This is WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk. It's the democracy, stupid, with Edwin Eisendrath.
Trump's undertrained and overarmed thugs continue to terrorize neighborhoods and threaten reporters. I stood with terrified parents outside a school. ICE had just done a drive-by, and that's all. They didn't make an arrest. They didn't even try. It was a show of force intended to frighten people. Chicagoans are documenting all of this. Chicagoans are standing up for America.
Edwin Eisendrath, Saturdays at 1 p.m. on WCPT 820.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns. And here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Because facts matter. You're listening to WCPT 820.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
And a happy Sunday fun day to everybody out there. Scott Duff here and the triumphant return of Ellen Miller.
Oh, thanks, Scott.
Welcome
Good to be back. Thank you, my friend. Good to be back.
You look all nice and Coco Loco.
I did use my 50
I used my
sunscreen.
50. Girl, yeah.
You look, you still got some color too.
I
From your
do,
trim.
barely.
No,
It's
no,
there.
it looks nice.
Oh,
Perfect.
thank you.
Doesn't look overly baked. It's
No,
just
I
perfectly.
I want that.
Yeah.
I'm that child. Yeah. Were you one of those kids in the 80s with the baby oil and the reflective blankets?
Oh, yeah, in the 70s.
In the 70s?
Yeah, when I was young, too young to appreciate, caring
Sunscreen.
about my skin.
Yeah,
Sunscreen,
well, nobody cared about that.
No,
We just
nobody
wanted
did.
that Band de
And
Soleil for the Saint Tropez tan.
We'd go up on my
on the roof.
On the roof
Yep.
of my right out my bedroom
Yep.
window was the garage roof.
Yep.
We'd climb out there and sunbathe on the black shingles with the baby oil.
1,000%.
Oh, we did the same thing.
Of course
even though
we did.
We're a little bit different in age. I
No,
love that.
yeah. No, we did the same thing. I've got my siblings are like your age.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I learned from them.
I love it.
Crawl out onto that roof.
Yeah, I was.
Crawl out onto that roof.
Ooh, baby.
And then baby oil.
Baby oil.
Baby oil. And then like the little transistor radio.
Oh,
that you
yeah, I
put
had
out
that
there.
too. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
I can even remember the song that I was listening to when I was on that roof that had just come out.
What was it?
The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles.
Oh, God. Wow. All righty.
That ages me. But
That
yes.
does age you, but there we go. But
Yeah.
what a good song to be coming
It
out.
was.
It just reminds me of the pop hits, KHTR in St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
There we are, hit radio.
Hit radio.
That's what it was.
Gotta love it.
Anyway.
Speaking of hits.
Speaking of hits, we've got a great show for you today. Early voting is underway for the Illinois primary, which takes place on March 17th. And we've been introducing folks to candidates
Yes.
over things. So today, we're actually going to head downstate to the 93rd district where Zoey Carter is running. And if she wins her bid, she could become the first openly trans woman elected to the state legislature. So we're going to be chatting with Zoey later on this hour. And it's hard to believe that Trans Up Front Illinois has been around for only 1 year.
Wow.
I can't believe they've done so much. They've been such a huge presence at protests against this abhorrent administration and fighting for trans rights. And now it's time to celebrate at their Light the Way Soiree. Executive Director for Trans Up Front Illinois, Asher McMaher, is going to join us next hour. And we all need an escape. And Fully Committed is a fast-paced one-person comedy satirizing the New York restaurant scene, and it begins performances at the Den Theater on March 13th. We're going to chat with actor Mike Newquist and director Derek Bertelsen. And, of course, we would love to hear from you, so you can give us a call at 773-763-9278. The number again is 773-763-9278. You can also text us on that. If you don't feel like chatting, please feel free to send us a text at 773-763-9278. And of course, you can listen to Out Chicago live Sundays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central on 8:20 a.m. on TuneIn from heartlandsignal.com, or you can watch the live video stream on the WCPT Facebook page or the Heartland Signal YouTube page. And make sure you click and a like and a share and all that good stuff.
Please do that.
There we are. How was your trip?
It was great. It's always great. It's like going to a second home there. I've gone for, we've been going off and on since the early 2000s to Isla. And I've gotten to know people that stay at our same hotel because everybody's like same time next year, which is usually nice. There's some people there you kind of want to avoid, Texas. No.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say Texans?
Girl, look, let me tell you where I was.
Yeah.
It was the same thing that happened because I never go back to the same place usually, and we went to the same resort for this is our second time there. And the first time we were there, there was this large group of some company from Texas was there doing a big they do a company thing, and they were there again.
Yeah, people do the same. They use the same exact weeks. I mean, this is a hotel too. It's not even it's just not even that big. But people like it, and if they say they're from Austin, and then somebody said they were listening to NPR, I go, oh my gosh.
Okay, there we are.
There we are. But the majority of them, here's the tell, Scott. Where are you from? Chicago. If they say anything less other than, wow, it's a great city, or I love Chicago, or I've always wanted to been, if they grunt,
yeah.
then you know exactly where they're coming from.
Move on. Yep,
but you know what? I'm very fortunate. I've cultivated lots of relationships with most every musician in town, and I had the great joy and pleasure of playing every single night on a stage of the 12 nights I was there,
right on,
including sometimes 2 and 3 nights, 2 and 3. And I did 2 whole shows with 2 different artists, 2-hour shows. I actually he shared the tips with me. I had enough to go have a little dinner afterwards.
All right, come on now.
So I made a little money.
Come on,
but
vacation
anyway,
money.
It is a great place to be. It's nice. It's like the whole town is like Cheers bar. You walk around and you know people. So always a wonderful experience. And, of course, air travel makes everything a little more difficult, as you well know.
Yes, yes.
Our flight got in after midnight this morning.
And Jerry is stuck in Memphis right now. He got bumped from his flight. Yeah, he was out of town last weekend. Then he was he came back last Sunday night, and then he left Tuesday. He was in New York, and then he had an opera premiere in Memphis. Yeah, and I couldn't go. Oh, dog. So he had an opera that was being premiered. It's actually a really cool story. It's a true story that happened in Memphis in the 1890s. So men and women were definitely assigned certain gender roles and everything, and there was a practice among young girls that they were called chumming, and it was when they would practice to be like boyfriend girlfriend, with
practice
each other,
kissing and things,
and all. Yeah, well, that I'm sure was part of it. But when it would go a little too far, that would be ostracized. And there was this one story of these 2 young girls who fell in love. Parents of one girl moved her out of Memphis. She was the one who was still in Memphis, was heartbroken, went into they put her into some sort of mental hospital to deal with her grief. And when she got out, then she found out that her beloved was coming back with her family for a vacation, and she went down to meet her and then slit her throat.
Slit her girlfriend.
Yes, and this kind of kind of if I can't have you, nobody can have you kind of vibe, and because people were it was the trial of the century kind of vibe. It would the trial went on for a year and a half because they thought that she took this chumming thing a little too far. She was clearly insane.
Yeah,
so that's
right.
what happened. So, but that's what the opera was about. I mean, can you talk about something big emotions and everything?
How did he even find that story?
Oh gosh, I can't remember because he's actually been working on this he wrote this almost 10 years ago, but with COVID and everything, everything's kind of got mushed around and
And he writes the book. Somebody else writes the...
Yes, he writes the libretti.
Libretti, yes.
The libretti for it. So, yes, so I get air travel is kind of kooky pants right now.
It's frustrating. I mean, they had no gate. We had to be bussed out to the tarmac and walked up the ladder.
A ladder or stairs?
I mean, it's stairs. It felt like a ladder. It was stairs.
Oh, no. Did you have toilet paper stuck to your foot?
No, I didn't.
Did you have to trouble dealing with an umbrella?
No, but there was a little bit of a step up to get onto the plane. It's like, it was fine. It was we loaded in from the back of the plane. Anyway, we got home safely, and here we are on March 8th, International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day, everybody.
Women's Day.
It's a holiday that Barack Obama signed into law in 2011 to mark Women's History Month, and the specific day is today and we've been in Isla Mujeres during this International Women's Day, and we tend to be there with a lot of friends that are women, and we make a little festive thing of it. But today, here we are.
There we go. Did you burn bras, or what did you do to celebrate?
Oh, we drank margarita. No, I didn't drink them, but we went to a local place and just posed for lots of pictures with some women that happened to be in town that we knew a couple of years ago. I just remember on that day because we were like celebrating International Women's Day.
And you were being international women.
We were.
You're having some hard times with that mic over there.
Too bad it doesn't work well. Maybe management. Anyway, so I'm just happy. I feel blessed to have had a great time. It was pretty. I made the mistake, Scott, when we were in the hotel. First, our flight got pushed back, and you don't know what to do. We have to take a ferry and then get picked up a prearranged ride. And do you go at the appointed time and know that they could always change it? Of course, it was much later than that. But we were eating dinner at the airport, and I said, this trip has been perfect. And then, of course, 4 hours later, I'm like, why did I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Because
jinxing it with
I jinxed it. But anyway, it still was perfect. You know what? I'm not going to let some silly air travel.
You were in the Cancun airport, right?
Oh, yeah.
Were they trying to get you about that under eye cream?
Oh, I put my hand up.
So many people, they all just want you to have that under eye cream.
It's something that just stretches your eye. It's got something in it that dries your eye.
Like cream.
It's like an egg white or something in it.
Great. I actually let them do it. I was like, come on.
You're braver than me.
Here we are.
I think I did once, and I was done. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. I'm like, oh no, what happened?
Hello, ma'am. How are you today?
Yes.
Take a free sample.
I'm like, we
raced through the duty free, the mall as it is over there. Mm-hmm. But it's interesting being an American in these troubled times.
Yeah.
When America sneezes, the whole world catches a cold, and every Mexican, now it doesn't matter what their job is, they know what's going on in this country. They know. Then they don't share it with tourists because they don't want to alienate anybody because their livelihood depends on it. But I wear a shirt, Scott, that says in Spanish, I've told you about it before, I've worn it here, immigrants are not criminals, but the president is. And my Mexican people, when I walk around the airport and the waiters, and they're giving me the thumbs up. Mm-hmm. So, I'm on your side, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just a great 12 days, and good to be back here with you. And we did like a relay. We were both crossed over. We were both there for like one day, I think, because you came on a Tuesday. And you had a great time too?
Yeah, it was lovely. It was great.
What's not to like?
I know. Well, see, my idea of a vacation, like, I don't think we would vacation well together. Because if I'm going to a beach kind of place, I don't want to do anything except sit on a beach and look at the water.
Well,
that's all I do.
We lay on the beach all day, but I did do 8 almost 1 mile ocean swims over the 12 days.
Oh, fantastic. The water where we are, it was so cold. It was still really cold, and it's also a very rocky beach. It's not the best beach.
That's why we like where we go, because it's just... it's pristine beach, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's beautiful to look at. It's really rocky to get
if you're
out
a swimmer,
in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ow, 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 ow. And slimy. I can't do the slimy.
Oh, no.
Oof.
No, we had none of that.
Oof.
Yeah, I even got a swim in yesterday. I swam almost a mile yesterday.
Come on now.
I'm trying to offset the tortillas, the fried, everything.
Oh, and well, the way we are, like, the resort is laid out in such a way that, like, we got at least 20,000 steps every day. Oh, just because of walking.
Those are big resorts. I hear they take golf courses.
It's not even that big.
Yeah.
It's just like to follow the sun. We start at the beach, then we go have lunch, then we have to go to the quiet pool which is basically the senior citizen pool, and it's fantastic.
No kids allowed.
Well, there are no kids at all allowed at the hotel. They're not even, spring breakers aren't even allowed.
Oh, really?
Which is, yes, it's a grown folks place. It's great, and it's quiet. But yeah, so you're just kind of walking all over the place.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so
we got steps in.
We got steps in and everything, and
we
it
were
was
both
lovely.
lucky. We got a little almost pre-spring. I guess I crossed over into meteorological spring because March 1st is meteorological spring.
Is it? I thought it was like March 23rd.
Well, that's the real spring. That's the equinox. But they weather people December 1st, as they call it, winter, even though it's not official, and it's meteorological talk, but we're almost there. But I feel a difference in it just feels warmer and.
No. Well, yes, it does, but it's going to be, now is the most difficult 8 weeks on the planet.
Because it's up and down.
Because it's up and down. I'm like, all I want to do is plant things now when it's nice out. And
No.
You can't do that.
No,
Can't do
no.
this. So that's why it's the longest. And I'm trying to keep my plants alive that
March
I brought inside.
could be a cruel month because it can snow and
April
be really
can
cold.
be even worse.
And it used to not be, but yeah, April can be.
April's even worse because they're like, okay, we should be out on the other side.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Not always.
We're
no.
not. No.
My birthday's April 3rd. It has snowed on my birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it didn't used to when I was a kid, but
Prince is right. Sometimes it snows in April.
sometimes it snows in April. He knows. He's from Minnesota.
I know. There I am. Anyway, girl, welcome back.
Thank
We're glad
you.
to
It's
have
good to
you
be back,
here.
Scott.
And man, oh man, were you able to catch any of Jesse Jackson's homegoing?
I caught it on the plane because we
Service?
did not turn the television on once the entire time we were gone. But I did listen to his whole almost 30-minute eulogy, and it was just phenomenal.
By Barack Obama.
Yeah, I listened to Kamala's after that as well because it followed on YouTube. But I long for a statesman. I long for a compassion, for caring, for intellect, for humor. Yes,
Humor.
All of it.
That's not at the expense of somebody. Yeah.
I am just it reminds us how diametrically opposed to that we are in this era that we live in today.
Yeah, but it was the whole thing. Like, man, what a legend Jesse Jackson was, and what a legacy that he has left, and an inspiration to so many people. Like you were saying, it was just so wonderful to hear former presidents. You had Bill Clinton, you had Joe Biden, you had Barack Obama up there. You had Governor Pritzker up there as well.
Oh, was he?
He
Great.
was a part of the whole thing. Jennifer Hudson showed up.
Oh, nice.
Too. But
where was Michelle? I didn't see her in any photos. And she grew up with the Jackson kids,
That I don't know because I only listen to things I don't watch. So, but it was just so wonderful for people to stop and really take stock of like the contributions that this legend has made to the civil rights movement, to everything, but also his message of hope, about we can do this. We just need to be together, because if you look at there's more. We have more things that are in common than we do differences.
That's right.
And that's what he was talking about. It was celebrating the power of hope. And you even have Barack Obama. He wrote The Audacity of Hope. Mm-hmm. Clinton did A Place Called Hope. Like, the hope is a very big, powerful thing. And
Keep hope alive was Jesse's slogan.
Yeah, and that was what he stood for. Mm-hmm. And just to hear these incredible words and the inspiration, like. I loved Obama talking about going to those breakfasts at the Push with Rainbow Push.
Oh yeah,
and slowly he's like, I wasn't invited until I was a senator. But he kept showing up because when he got to Chicago, he came to Chicago because of Jesse Jackson's work,
which I learned during his eulogy.
Yeah, it was.
And they also underlined it. Both he and Kamala talked about LGBTQ rights. They mentioned that, both of them.
Yeah,
in their
saying
remarks.
that Jesse Jackson was the first person to really take up the charge.
I kind of didn't remember that, and so it was nice to hear that.
It was, and I think he was one of the first people to be, LGBTQ rights are human rights, and this is something worth fighting for. And if we're not all free, then none of us are free. And I also think it's today's the march across the Edmund Pettus Gym bridge. Which again, we have miles to go, folks. We have miles to go, but we have the hope. We have the hope of change.
Keep hope alive.
Which is
hope. It's hard, but you got to
and
try. You got to
harder
keep.
to
You know,
do.
got to keep trying.
Got to keep on trying. There we are. But I guess we should probably take a break right about now. But before we do that, this part about Chicago is brought to you by Team Hochberg. If you are purchasing a new home, you need to call Team Hochberg, your trusted local lender. Kim, a single mom and longtime renter, called David after reading several of his over 700 five-star Google reviews to get pre-qualified to purchase her first home. David answered Kim's questions, supplied her realtor with numerous pre-approval letters until she located and purchased the perfect home for her and her 6-year-old daughter, Sophia. Now let's review. Kim contacted David to secure a mortgage on her first home, and David helped her secure a low interest rate mortgage with only 5% down. If you're purchasing a home and would like the same outstanding service and low interest rate as Kim received, call Team Hochberg now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com. Team Hochberg helped Kim and thousands of WCPT listeners, but they can't help if you don't call 855-563-2843 or visit that website you know and love, 56david.com. Lower.com, equalizing lender, NMLS 1124061. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're talking about the news of the week right here on Out Chicago on WCPT Heartland Signal.
The Lightning Strike Radio Show.
Personally, I'm an independent, and I voted on both sides of the aisle in my days.
Basically, Ken is saying that he is bi. So you got to.
Oh, you're killing me.
You got to take that into consideration, folks. Okay. Right. Now he's getting red in the
Michelle
face.
Alfano is actually
he's trying to change the subject.
Yeah, I'm totally trying to get.
Sundays at 9 a.m. on WCPT 820 a.m.
It's Girls News. Welcome, WCPT 820 listeners. It's time for some Girls News. As AI integrates into the workforce, it is creating a digital glass ceiling that heavily impacts women. Let's get into it. In high-income countries, 9.6% of jobs held by women are at a high risk of automation by AI, compared to only 3.5% of the jobs held by men. Of the 6.1 million employees who would have the hardest time adapting to an AI-related job loss, 86% are women. Despite AI advancements, women hold just 26% of AI-related jobs globally and 15% of the leadership positions in AI. AI hiring tools and systems are trained on male-dominated data, which means that they are more likely recommending men for higher-paying jobs. And this has been your Girl News with WCPT 820.
Experience one of opera's most heartbreaking love stories, Puccini's Madama Butterfly at Lyric Opera of Chicago, March 14th through April 12th. With soaring melodies, stunning visuals, and powerful emotion, Madama Butterfly tells the tragic tale of a young woman's devotion and sacrifice. Don't miss this unforgettable masterpiece that continues to move audiences around the world. Madama Butterfly. Tickets at lyricopera.org.
Hey Google, play WCPT.
Streaming Chicago's progressive talk from TuneIn.
Hey, this is Mark Patton, and I'm from Spring Clean, My Nightmare on Elm Street, and you're listening to Out Chicago.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ella Miller, rolling along on a very beautiful Sunday on International Women's Day.
Yes, indeed.
And hey, this week on Choose Views, Richard Chu's guests include Leaving MAGA's Rich Logis, author Seth David Radwell, Lavora Barnes of Democracy Defenders Fund, author-activist Kasim Rashid, pundit and author Eugene Robinson, who I just adore, and Choose Views regulars Sarah Jones, Kurt Mullett, and Karen Byrne. That's Choose Views weekdays from 6 to 8 a.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., the Heartland Signal website, TuneIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Girl, what a mess.
I know.
Everything is a mess
It's
out there.
horrible.
Look, first of all, I want to just say, I want to apologize to folks out there who called in last week who were not able to get on the line because I said we were not talking about Iran. It just happened. We had no information, didn't have anything. It was not going to be a productive conversation.
Well, that was responsible.
So
That was a
just
responsible
doing that out
decision.
there.
Yeah.
So apologies for folks who do that. Now, we still don't have the same, the information is so awful.
Because they're making it up as they go. Best I can figure.
It is a choose your own adventure. In typical fashion, the Ding Dong administration and the 47th Reich, they cannot provide a coherent or consistent answer as to why we are starting this war.
I mean, he say something like, he had a feeling that they were going to bomb.
Yes.
That they were going to bomb Israel.
I had a feeling. I had a thought.
I had a thought about it.
Well, no, he doesn't have a thought.
He doesn't have any thoughts.
No, he doesn't have thoughts.
I just had a feeling about it. How is this acceptable to any American?
I don't know. Well, it's not. It started out when his approval was like a 40% went on for this action or whatever. This not a war,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where he started. And usually when there are acts of war or whatever, or a military event,
Mm-hmm.
a normal president would come forward and address the nation,
of course,
and say what's going on. But none of them can keep their stories straight. What's going on here? He keeps calling the not a war a war. You've got Secretary Tipsy Face just throwing out callous and flippant remarks
I can't stand
about
him.
death from above and all of this. It's like he's playing a video game.
Yeah, that's
they
probably
think
what
that
he
this.
is.
Well, that's what they all think. It's like these are real people. These are people's lives. There was no evacuation plan in place for U.S. citizens. There's no we have no idea what the objective of this action is. It is ridiculous. It is just a mess. My friends, their daughter is studying abroad in Jordan.
Yeah.
And this was a long week. I finally got to catch up with them and talk with them on Friday. But I'm like, so what's going on? Because everything happened Saturday night while we were asleep. And then so she was in Jordan, and then they finally had to evacuate. They evacuated a student. She's over there with her university. And then she's now in Morocco, but it was just such a harrowing experience. I was talking to her mom. I'm like, how are you doing? She's like, the hardest part was knowing that she was on her way to the airport because she didn't know what was going to happen because they're targeting, Americans as they should, it seems, and so she was just a nervous wreck until she arrived at the airport and was in there and was on a plane. When she was on a plane, she was also very worried because she sent me videos. I can show you a video of you can watch missiles flying overhead.
Oh my God.
And this was in Jordan going over. So she was just a nervous wreck, but she's safe and sound.
Good.
But what's happening?
They're so inept. It's just, like you say, they're playing a video game. They're not, they have no concept of the ramifications. They make an action like this. There's Americans all over the Gulf states and countries. And to just have zero plan doesn't surprise us, but it's pathetic. It really is. It's a dereliction of duty. But that's what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
A guy who I just had a feeling, so I'm going to bomb. I'm going to kill and bomb people.
Yeah. By the way, don't look at the Epstein files.
Oh, to me, that's when this stuff's been coming out about this young woman, that he allegedly raped. What a coincidence is that the pressure and the heat's been on her about that this happened.
That's good. Oh, and also now let's do it to Cuba.
We'll just move to Cuba and do
what
that.
happened to this is the no wars president.
He wants to be king of the world. He has power, obviously he's so power hungry. He's just a despicable by the moment. I can't. I don't know if I could.
I know we need our little beep button so badly because the amount of swear words that come to my mind is all the it's
just horrible.
It is flabbergasting.
And then when you get out of the country and you look at it from other people's perspectives or see it from, the people are sad for us. The Mexicans still think America is the greatest country in the world, and so do I. But he's quickly devolving us into I don't know what with his irresponsible actions and his ego and his team of just bumbling, fumbling idiots.
Horrible idiots. Horrible idiots.
And Marco Rubio, what a jerk. Well, he should be ashamed of himself. He is just pathetic.
They all should. I mean, yeah, it is the amount of flip-flopping that has happened,
we just have to, and people ask, well, what are we going to do? I said, we have to vote.
We got to vote.
We have to come out in such large numbers that any kind of manipulation that we're worried about might happen or fear tactics at the polls are going to not matter because we're going to have we need so many people to come out. We're already seeing in Texas, that primary that took place while I was gone, there was like a huge Democratic turnout. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, well, there was also a lot of, there were kerfuffles that were going on with the Texas primary because they had redone all the gerrymander, like the redistrict everything.
Yeah. People didn't know where to vote or what?
People didn't know where to vote. And because in Dallas County, you could vote at any polling place. And people who have been used to going to whatever poll, like one that's close to work or to school or whatever that fits into their lives, into their schedule, they were being turned away because they were assigned to a specific poll. So they had to extend the voting period from 7 to 9, like it was supposed to end at 7, and just for Democrats because it was just the Republicans that were going wherever. I mean, it was a mess that was going on, which is why, but we'll get to that in a second. I do want to get to our calls.
Okay.
We would love to hear what you think. Give us a call, 773-763-9278. You can also text us your thoughts at that same number. But in the meantime, let's chat to Steve. Steve, welcome. You're on Out Chicago.
Yeah, you've unpacked a lot, so I just wanted to touch on a few things.
Yeah.
And with regard to what happened in Texas, I mean, it may be a hidden treasure for us in that it allows you to now know where you're going to be voting in the general election.
Yes, that's true.
In other words, this was a choice between two good candidates, in my view. But if it allows you to air out the problems that you might have in voting down the road, then now you know where you are assigned. So there is not going to be that kind of confusion.
Good point.
I say, so that's one. Two, I mean, you're absolutely correct with regard to this administration. I mean, the MAGA people, according to our polling, they are thoroughly disillusioned. This was the guy who said, let's get America out of everything that entangles us around the world. Let's cut USAID. Let's get out of countries. Let's make sure that we're certainly not involved in any more military conflicts. And instead, what you have is this administration involved in about 8, depending upon how you measure it, since the time he took office. And I think he was emboldened with the Venezuela strike, and that this was something that took several hours. So out of that, he drew the wrong conclusion, as we often do in this country, that, oh, wow, you know what? Military action can be the solution to all of our problems anywhere, because Iran is just like Venezuela, God knows. And by the way, what the heck has changed in Venezuela? They haven't capitulated. It's the same administration. The guy at the top is gone. So what exactly did you accomplish? But here, we've gone to war, and again, you had as many explanations in the days that followed as you had days in the week. So and people contradicting each other within the administration. And I'm still wondering exactly what happened. Let's assume that you're able to topple this regime with air power, which according to Robert Pape, the University of Chicago, who studies international security issues, that never happened.
Right.
So, but let's assume that it does, without putting American boots on the ground, then what? Iran is not one big happy family. It is a large society of 92 million people, and they are divided politically. They are divided along religious and ethnic grounds. So what happens? I don't know, the same thing that happened in Iraq and in Libya. When the totalitarian regime falls, well, guess what happens? It doesn't turn into Norway.
Right.
Instead, you get a lot of sectarian violence, and you get a lot of people shooting at each other, as we've seen in other places where we got involved in this way. But again, let's for a second assume that this is something that he thought was a good idea. Again, no evidence to support it, but okay. That's not the promise you made to your constituents, the people who voted for you.
No, he's like he's the no war. He's ahead of the Board of Peace. Isn't that the new one?
Yeah.
What's it? Yeah.
He's taken his party from 18% likelihood a year ago of winning the Senate to 44% likelihood of winning the Senate today.
Yep.
So, I mean, the people around him are scratching their heads because, on the one hand, there's the recognition, look, it's Donald Trump. I don't want to get primaried. I don't want to get MAGA'd. I don't want funding to get cut off from the RNC, blah, blah, blah. So I've got to play lip service to this guy. On the other hand, they're scratching their heads saying, look, this is some of the most idiotic public policy decisions I've ever seen. The people in my district don't want to pay more when they go to Walmart. Yet his tariff policy, was what resulted in Americans paying $1,700 more per family last year. And so when the Supreme Court said, no, you can't actually do that, there were two kinds of Republicans. Well, basically one kind of Republican, two answers. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. President, terrible decision on the part of, this court. How dare they? And then the other side of it was, okay, well, thank God they did this because my constituents were hammering me and I'd like to get reelected. But we're following this guy, and I have no explanation to them as to why prices have skyrocketed. And by the way, and this is the last point, if you haven't been to a gas station in the last week, you're in for a shock.
Yep.
And that's going to filter down through everything, air travel, groceries, no matter what you buy, energy is how it gets to you and how it's manufactured. And so, I mean, so much for his claims, because that was one of his big, look what I've done moments was, hey, gas prices are lower than when Joe Biden was in office. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So, I mean, what are you running on any longer? I mean, if you wanted to destroy your party, you couldn't do a better job.
That's true. That's true. Thanks. Thanks for calling in, Steve. Thanks for all that. Yeah, but at least you can wear a nice white hat.
Oh, my. What a moron. You wouldn't wear a hat like that to anybody's funeral.
No.
Let alone fallen military soldiers.
Yes.
He only cares about himself. It's so evident.
And it's so evident as to why we finally got rid of Kristi Noem as DHS secretary.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm sorry. And now she's special envoy to the Shield of the Americas.
They just make crap up.
What is that?
The Shield of the Americas.
It sounds like a really bad Marvel TV series. Shield of the Americas, starring the Tinkler.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't it's like what the heck is going on? Like, it's just so weird. I mean, Kristi Noem out-corrupted this corrupt administration.
Yeah,
I mean, she's had more legal violations in January alone than most government agencies have had in the history of those agencies. What really got under Ding Dong's craw, under his little neck waddle, was $220 million ad campaign. And the firm that got the contract, which apparently wasn't even a firm 8 days before they got it.
In order to get the money.
Her alleged affair with Corey Lewandowski, which, by the way, if you were being grilled about like an affair that you're having and your husband is sitting right behind you, why don't you just say no? Why don't you just say no?
What did she end? She just didn't answer the question.
She was like, I can't believe. Well, first of all, she didn't move anything on her face because her face cannot move. She has to do this whole thing because, like everything, she is so just injected and all this stuff.
Her lips stay in place, don't they?
Yes, they stay in place. They all have that kind of like cat butthole kind of a feel with their lips. That whole party. Right? But she was like, I can't believe you're bringing up this tabloid stuff in this line of. She didn't say no.
No, she did not deny.
Say no. She didn't say no. That's all I said. I mean, and so she's now having like a private jet so she can just have
with a fabulous bedroom in the back.
Join the Mile High Club with Corey.
They deserve each other.
Yeah, I know. And let's not forget about like how the agency has been invading and terrorizing United States cities with ICE. So bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
But like, and then
now we have Mark Wayne Mullen.
Oh, and he's wowza.
He's like a fighter, an NME, is that what it's called?
MMA.
MMA. I'm a big fan.
Yes, he's an MMA
fighter.
Former plumber. Real smart.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen some of these clips that have been flown around?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Asking about like, what's the definition of a sanity? And the person's like, a sanity? Do you mean insanity? It's like, yes, insanity. It's like just doing the same thing. Like this whole he threatened to fight the head of the Teamsters during a hearing.
I do remember hearing that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the calm, cool, collected voice that's going to be taking over.
Just another loyalist.
Yes.
Another
DHS.
bootlicker.
And the thing that's so because right now he's acting DHS secretary,
so
and
he's got to be confirmed.
He's got to be confirmed, and that's the part that's just like makes the eyes roll because the Senate usually likes to favor one of their own.
Yeah.
And in this Republican majority, he's probably just going to sail on through.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we've got to get out there and vote. And here are some things. We need to take a break. Just a reminder, the primary elections are coming up on the 17th, and you can start early voting right now. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're actually going to be chatting with somebody who is running for Illinois state legislature, Zoey Carter, who is looking to represent the 93rd district. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
The family meeting.
Hi, Cindy.
I'm just a nobody with no circle of influence.
That's never true.
I'm trying to spread this idea that I came up with, so here it is. We still have DEI. It just has a new meaning. Demagogues empowering idiots.
You better trademark that, because I will if you don't.
I'm writing it down.
Sundays 4 to 6 p.m., The Family Meeting.
If you're purchasing a new home and working with Rocket Mortgage, listen very closely. Carly, 54, first-time home buyer, income 65 G's a year, contacted Rocket Mortgage for a mortgage. Rocket locked her into a 25-year fixed FHA loan at 6.125%, which sounds great until I reviewed Rocket's loan documents. Carly didn't know Rocket placed her into a 25-year fixed loan, not a 30-year fixed loan like she wanted. Carly also didn't know Rocket Mortgage charged her over $5,000 to lower her rate. I explained why I thought it wasn't in her financial best interest to buy down the rate, and that's why Team Hochberg, not Rocket Mortgage, will be helping Carly with her mortgage. Let's review. Rocket Mortgage placed Carly into a loan she didn't want and didn't understand why Rocket charged her to secure a lower rate. If you want to work with a lender you can trust, give us a call now at 855-563-2843 or visit 56david.com, 855-563-2843 or visit our website 56david.com. Atlantic Coast Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 643114.
WCPT 820, Chicago's progressive talk, where facts matter.
I'm Jen Grosshandler.
And I'm Chazzy Grosshandler.
We're with the Gender Cool Project, and you're listening to
Out Chicago!
Woot! Woot! Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller. And hey, just like I said before the break, early voting is underway for the Illinois primary on March 17th. Right now in Chicago, you can vote wherever for early voting.
Yes.
So
it's on our agenda.
It's on our agenda. Go out there, vote. There's a huge voting center downtown. You can go do that. So we're reminding folks, this is the time. We're putting up our candidates. And we've been lucky during this season that we've been introducing folks to candidates. And today we're going to head downstate to the 93rd district where Zoey Carter is running for Illinois representative. And if she wins her bid, she would become the first openly trans woman elected to state legislature. So welcome to you, Zoey Carter.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking time out. I know this has got to be a busy time for you, so we really appreciate you taking time out today to join us. I would love to start our conversation with the question I ask everybody who is running for political office. Why are you running?
Because I got tired of all the bullshit.
Alrighty. Hey, there.
We're on the radio,
we
Zoey.
are on the
Gotta
radio.
Yep. So no, I honestly, so I was I was assistant grocery store manager, and I had an incident where I had a customer who could not afford their own groceries. It was a single mother, and she had her 2 kids with her, and all she was buying is milk, bread, and formula.
Yeah.
And after she left, I ended up paying for it for her. After she left, I was like, something's not right. Someone has to do something about it. And I got home, I kind of sat and I thought about it, and it's like, no one else is doing it, so why not? And I dug in. I've never had a political background in my life. I taught myself. I started traveling, getting in the rooms where the people are, and here we are.
Amazing. So, have you been like at all like an activist at all within, like, say, within the community, or have you, like, what is? Because that's a big, I applaud anybody who takes on this like decision, because there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and passion to be like, okay, we're gonna do this. Had you been active like within local, like for local causes, like social causes at all, or did you have any sort of that?
So I honestly, I got into activism and all this stuff in May of 2023. So I'm actually fairly new with all this. Before that, I was very much one of the people, politics doesn't matter. I don't want to have to deal with it. And we had in Peoria, which I live just outside of Peoria, we had a protest going on. We had our wonderful friend from Florida, the governor from Florida, come in to speak with the. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, I can't stand the guy. But he came in to speak at the Republican dinner, and there was a protest going on, and I was like, let's just show up. Let's see what a protest is. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. And I got there, and people were hooting and hollering. We had a drag show in front of the venue where he was.
Amazing.
It was absolutely amazing and fantastic, and just seeing the camaraderie and everything like that. And afterwards, I ended up speaking with the president of Peoria Proud, which Cassie Lucchese, who kind of put it on. And I started talking with her, and she was really instrumental in getting me into like activism and getting me involved in the community, with the LGBTQ community in the area. And from there on, I'm running for office now, but I also run a nonprofit called the Rural Equality Project that deals with LGBTQ people in rural areas and small towns, to bring advocacy and education to these areas and make people feel less alone.
Zoe, how has your candidacy been accepted or met or agreed? What kind of response are you getting from your constituents in the Peoria area?
Honestly, it's been going wonderful.
Oh, good.
Most people, they don't care that I'm trans.
Okay, good.
They care about what's, food on their table, the price of groceries, things like that. Funny story, I actually had this guy, because right now we're fighting against the data center and all that fun jazz. I had this guy come up to me, and we had this like hour-long conversation about politics and this and that. And at the end, he was like, "I love you. I'm going to vote for you. When you get signs, I want signs in my yard. You're fantastic. Blah 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 blah." And I ended up going on his Facebook because and guy voted for Trump and was just one of these far-right people, but. He was like, "I don't care that you're trans. I don't care that you're a Democrat. I'm voting for you because, what you're saying is going to affect me positively." And that's really what people care.
Yeah, they really care about the no BS. It's like what you were talking about earlier. So just really quickly for all of our listeners, what counties make up the 93rd that's going on there?
Yeah.
And what, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Just as you've been on the campaign trail, what are the real pressing issues? I mean, yes, affordability is a huge one, but what else have you been discovering as you've been knocking on doors?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first off, the counties. It's a very large district. I figured out it's right around 650 square miles in size.
Oh wow.
So it covers my home county of Tazewell, Peoria, Henry, Knox, Stark, and then a slight bit of Fulton County. So 6 counties total. Yes, affordability is a big thing on people. And with having such a huge district, there's a variation. So most of the population of the district is in my hometown of Pekin. The second largest town is Kewanee. So you have 2 smaller towns and then farmland. So it's very varied. most people, they just care about affordability. But in some of these towns, like, for example, Wyoming, Illinois, it's a small little town of 1,100 people. They have no grocery stores. They have no health care. They don't have that stuff. And so, like, those situations where, okay, we live here, we love our little small town, but we don't have access to these, these facilities to be able to, live and
eat and be healthy. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly. And there's other towns that, they'll have a Dollar General, but as we all know, Dollar Generals don't really have groceries, so to speak of. You know, they have canned foods and box foods, and that's it. And you can't really live healthily off of that. And so a lot of people, they just want to be able to stay in their town and be able to go to the doctor, go to the grocery store and live without driving 40, 50 minutes away.
Are there a lot of farm? I mean, it sounds like you're in a rural area. Is it a pretty agrarian kind of thing? Or do you have a lot of farmers within that district?
Yeah. So again, it's very varied because in my hometown of Pekin, I live like 20 minutes from Peoria. So it is more of a small town, but we do have a lot of industry and things like that. But then when you go further north, it is very agrarian. There's a lot of farm towns, a lot of, towns where the largest building is grain silos, and
yeah.
But what have you been hearing from the farmers? Because it seems like a lot of them have been hit really hard with the tariffs that were put into place. Have you been hearing anything from them about their particular needs?
Yeah, so the two biggest needs that I've heard from farmers so far have been these tariffs and being able to afford, the price of seed and the prices of everything like that, and be able to sell their product out. But it's also family farms being bought up by corporations. A lot of these families, the older generation are dying off. The kids have moved to, the big city of Peoria or things like that. And so these farms are being sold off, but instead of being sold off to a new generation of farmers, they're being bought up by these corporations. And that's another really big thing that they're really worried about.
Yeah, thank you.
So you say, your concern is the concern of the people, which is food and you mentioned and transportation, healthcare. What specific policies do you feel you want to push for that are going to help these issues?
Realistically, we need support in Springfield to be able to speak for these communities and go to these communities and be able to hey, what do you need? Because it is a very large district, so I don't know exactly 100% what every single community needs. From what I've heard from everyone, we need basic things like, okay, how are we going to get new grocery stores? Is this something we can do where we give, because I know right now in Illinois we have this grant program to open up family grocery stores, but a lot of those grocery stores are being opened up in Chicago, which is great, but we need some more of that down here.
Yeah.
Things like that, or healthcare. Is there ways that we can help out smaller clinics, help out other hospitals to open up small branches or different things like that, or putting money into telehealth, which telehealth does work, but there's a lot of things that telehealth cannot work for at all.
Sure.
And that's another thing that a lot of people are like, well, I can go to telehealth to see if I have the cold, but I can't do telehealth to get a surgery,
Right, or to get an MRI or an X-ray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, things like that. It's really simple. It's really simple.
Some tax breaks for groceries and grants, as you said,
Exactly.
things like that.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense. Thank you.
So what has been the response from the LGBTQ community within your district towards your run?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be open and I can't think of the word right now, but I've had nights where I've cried. My home, I love my home. I'm an 8th generation. My mom's side is one of the founding families of my home. So we've been here for over 200 years.
Wow.
And we've gave some really good people. We're the home of Everett McKinley Dirksen, the guy who wrote the Civil Rights Act. The first person that Abraham Lincoln emancipated was a black lady from Pekin. But we also had a really, really bad history with, racism and things like that. And so, when I came out as trans, I felt like I was the only one here. It was very like lonely. And since I've came out and I started working on this stuff and I've started running for office, I've seen the LGBTQ community just kind of come out and be like, I can be proud too. 2 years ago, we had our first Pride Festival because I do way too much stuff. And I put on our first Pride Festival, and I had this guy, this gay man come up to me, and he looked at me, and then he just started crying.
Aww.
And he was like, I didn't know that there was any of us left.
Wow.
Because he had lived through the AIDS crisis and, being in a small town where he had no idea. He had absolutely no idea that the LGBTQ community was as big as it was and as prevalent and as out and proud. And he just cried and he gave me a hug and I cried and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And so the community has been just excited and ready to go. They're like, if you need me to volunteer, go knock doors, help, I'll be there right away. It's been wonderful.
What is your job when you're not running for office? Do you have are you in a
It's kind of everything.
Okay.
So before I decided to run for office, like I said, I was in retail, and a lot of these corporations are Republican owned, and so unfortunately, because I said, "Hey, I'm running as a Democrat," they're like, "All right, bye."
Wow.
So
Okay.
So I do a lot of small things here and there, speaking of engagements, DoorDash. I do whatever I can.
Whatever you can to make.
Whatever I can to make money.
I'm sorry, we are up against a really hard break right now. So Zoey Carter running for the Illinois State Legislature for the 93rd District. If you want to find out more information about her, go to zoecarter.us. Zoey, thank you so much for taking time out to chat with us. And also thank you for taking up the mantle and making this very tough decision to I'm going to run because I want to make a difference.
Yes.
So best of luck to you as you head towards the primaries on the 17th.
We'll keep an eye on
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Zoe.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the second hour about Chicago right here on WCPT.
You deserve more than yelling at your phone alone. I'm Patty Vasquez, comedian, policy nerd, and the friend who actually did the reading. On Driving It Home, we break down what's really going on, figure out what to do about it, and we laugh because what else are we going to do? I've done the homework, and I'll let you cheat off my paper because here's the deal. They want you confused, exhausted, and too tired to care. We're not going to do that. We're sharp, funny, and not backing down. That's the resist and persist energy.
Patty Vasquez, weeknights 5 to 7 on WCPT 820.
When it comes to banking, you need a bank you can trust. A bank with a rock-solid reputation and the highest integrity. A bank that gives you the attention and respect you deserve.
ABOC first opened its doors in downtown Chicago in 1922, and we've made our name on deep expertise, best-in-class service, and a strong commitment to our customers. We know the Chicago business market inside and out and can help you craft the perfect banking solution, no matter what type of business you're in.
And if you're looking for a banking partner for your labor union, we can bring the type of expertise that only comes from a bank that was founded by labor unions and still has union employees and shareholders to this day.
Whether you need a deposit account, loan, trust services, or investment management, ABOC has you covered. Let's work together to manage your finances today while planning for a better tomorrow. ABOC, a bank built on a strong foundation.
Visit aboc.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Tune into the Tom Hartman radio program, your home for news, opinion, and insight, right here on WCPT 820, where facts matter.
NBC News Radio, I'm Lisa Carton. A new Iranian supreme leader has reportedly been chosen. Scott Carr has details.
Reports out of Iran's state-run ISNA news agency says the most suitable candidate has been determined and approved by a majority of the nation's assembly of experts. Though who the person is exactly is being kept a closely guarded secret for now. It was just over a week ago the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran, launching strikes that took out the nation's supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. It's been widely rumored the Ayatollah's second son was among the top choices to take over. I'm Scott Carr in Washington.
The U.S. and Israel are said to be weighing options for securing Iran's stockpile of highly enriched uranium Axios is reporting that the deployment of special forces is one possibility. It comes as both the U.S. and Israel continue to hit Iran more than a week after the start of Operation Epic Fury. President Trump on Saturday attended a dignified transfer ceremony at Dover Air Force Base as the remains of 6 U.S. service members killed in the conflict were returned to American soil. Gas prices continue to rise. AAA reports the national average is now $3.45 a gallon. That's up from yesterday's $3.41. The jump comes amid ongoing U.S. military operations in Iran. That's been wreaking havoc in oil markets and causing pain at the pump for drivers across the country. And California has seen its largest spike in gas prices since the start of the conflict in Iran. Here's Jason Nathanson with more.
The price is now above $5 a gallon to $5.08, and more than 15 counties in the state crossed the $5 mark overnight, including Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, San Jose, Riverside, Ventura, and Oakland. California has seen a more than 40-cent jump in the past week. Analysts put most of the blame on the fighting in the Middle East.
You're listening to the latest on NBC News Radio.
This is Chicago's Progressive Talk, 820 AM, WCPT Willow Springs, and online at WCPT820.com, where facts matter.
You've been working hard all day and didn't have time to catch up on the news during work.
And that phone just wouldn't stop.
We've got you covered. Joan Esposito, live, local, and progressive.
We will fight as many places and as many times as it takes to get this power back.
Joan Esposito, afternoons from 2 to 5 p.m., WCPT 820.
Amy Goodman reports on the news stories rarely covered by the corporate media. Democracy Now!
The American Civil Liberties Union and the Center for Constitutional Rights have sued the Trump administration, seeking the release of the secret legal memo that's been used to justify the U.S. campaign targeting alleged drug boats in the Caribbean and the Pacific. The U.S. has struck at least 22 boats, killing 87 civilians.
Democracy Now! Weekday evenings at 11 on WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk.
What if one day you went to your secret hiding place? You know, that spot that only you know about? And instead of what you came for, you found something a little different. What if instead of your private stash, you found a simple phone number, 1-800-662-HELP? What would you do? Would you stop and give it some thought? Would you make the call? The truth is, all drug use comes with risk. Before those risks become real, before drugs turn your life upside down, before drugs take their toll on you and your family, know that there is help. You can quit. If you or someone you love is struggling with drug use or prescription drug misuse, call 1-800-662-HELP for 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, or go to samhsa.gov/thereishelp.
This is WCPT telling you how you can shop blue. For all you sweet tooths out there, let's look at some chocolate brands that support the Democrat Party. Hershey. Hershey gives more to Democrats. As in 2024, 58% of their donations in politics went to the Democrat Party. Toll House. Toll House is owned by Nestle. Now, Nestle stopped giving to politics in 2020, where 71% of their donations went to Democrats. But in 2024, some of their senior leaders donated. Now their political donations, 78% of those donations went to Democrats. And if you like chocolate cake, let's talk about Pillsbury and Betty Crocker. They're both owned by General Mills. And out of all their political donations, 77% of General Mills' political donations go to Democrat candidates and causes. This has been WCPT telling you how you can shop blue.
This is WCPT 820, where facts matter.
I'd like to welcome you to WCPT AM's Out Chicago. Think of us as Sunday brunch with your gay best friends. Now please welcome your host, Scott Duff.
Welcome back to the second hour of Out Chicago. We're so happy that you're here with us. Scott Duff, And Ellen Miller.
Yes, we're so thrilled.
We're here. We're thrilled. Hey, and don't forget, we are on Facebook, and we're reading your comments. So please leave your thoughts, as well as a like and a share, and share the page. You can find us at facebook.com/WCPT820. And also just want to remind you that you can listen to, rate, and share the Out Chicago full episodes and featured interviews podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeart, YouTube, and Amazon Music. All you got to do is search for Out Chicago with Scott Duff and Ellen Miller, or visit WCPT's podcast page at heartlandsignal.com/podcasts. Some of the latest additions to our featured interviews podcasts are Sophia Wong-Baccio of Asian Pop-Up Cinema Chicago, Kat McDonald of The Second City, Coco Sudek of Q-Force, and British stand-up comedian, actor, and activist Eddie Izzard, and of course, the legendary John Waters. So that's wherever you get your podcasts. Mm-hmm. We've got a great second hour lined up for you a little bit later on. We're going to be chatting with Asher McMaher. They are the executive director of Trans Up Front Illinois, which it's hard for me to fathom that it's only been around for 1 year. They have been doing such incredible work this year. They are celebrating with the Light the Way Soiree that's coming up on the 21st.
I hear about that.
So there we go. But hey, if you out there love razor sharp satire about status, ambition, customer service, served up by one actor playing nearly 40 characters, then you do not want to miss Fully Committed by Becky Mode, coming to the Den Theater March 13th. Joining us now is actor Mike Newquist and director Derek Bertelsen. Mike and Derek, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. Welcome.
There you go. Derek, let's start with you. When did you first encounter the play? And if you could tell our stories a little bit about the story that is Fully Committed.
Yeah, for sure. Fully Committed is a fast-paced, very funny show that takes the audience behind the scenes of a hip New York restaurant, and one actor plays all these different characters. You've got the restaurant staff, you've got the socialites trying to get a last-minute reservation, you've got ruthless, everyone's just trying to get a reservation at this hot new place, and Mike plays all these fun characters. I encountered the show in 2008. I directed another production of it for a small little storefront space in Rock Island, Illinois, and that was a really fun experience. And last summer, I approached Mike about doing a project, and this was the script that just kind of floated to the top, and it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, I remember when it was, because it went to Broadway with Jesse Tyler Ferguson. For that was like, I think in the teens, like 2016, 2018, something like that. And I remember I grabbed the script to read it, and boy, oh boy, it is funny. It is a really, really funny script. And then later, my friend Malik Pancholi took over to play that role. It is so great. So, Mike, this is a very daunting project. You know?
No, it's not. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? No, what are you talking about? No, what are you talking about? See, those are all my different characters that I have right there. Yeah. Holy smokes. What has been your process with this show, Fully Committed, that's going to be at the Den Theater starting March 13th?
Well, lucky me and Derek started working on this show before we started rehearsing it in the actual space. And so we just came back to my place and would just read through it, do a little light blocking. And I would just read the play on the train, on the way to work, on the way home from work. I have, a line learner app where I just recorded everything. And so I've just been fully invested, fully committed into,
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
Listen, that's been the last 5 months. But yeah, and so I just tried to grab 5 or 6 characters a week to just really just work on them. And then once we got into the rehearsal space, it just kind of started flowing into my body, and here we are, So I'm really excited, though. It's a lot of fun.
Are there any specific themes that tend to resonate more with audiences right now than maybe in 2008 when this production was first done?
I would say this is a lot of fun, and I think it's a big break from a lot of what is going on in the news and in the world. And this is very much a production where we're just kind of like taking a break. We're laughing. And I think these are much needed laughs from everybody. You know, we make fun of socialites, we make fun of celebrities, we make fun of like self-important people, the upper class, you know. It's a good time. It's a really good time.
Yeah, the script punches up. You know, like I'd
say so.
That's the thing. You know, it makes fun of it. It also just shows like regular, like the foibles of people and how ridiculous we can be as a species. You know,
absolutely.
Yeah, and but it also like it's got its feels too. There are some feels in there.
Yes, there are. And yet they are. They really ground a lot of the comedy that's going on too, because you really feel for the central character. He's very much the straight man, obviously, with all these wacky characters calling in. But when there's like some family stuff, there's some life lesson stuff that happens, and I don't know. Like I said, it really grounds everything. So it's fun. It's fun to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that
so
now. You're right.
we need it more than ever. Like, let's go and like just watch somebody just have multiple personalities in front of us. Mike, as you were like taking time out to like, okay, I'm going to work on these 5 or 6 characters right now, or whatever. How did you key into each one of these characters? Like, was it a physicality? Was it an emotional state? Like, what was your way in to creating nearly 40 different characters?
Wow. Yeah.
Well, you know, I just try. There are small specific things. So, okay, we have this one character, Bryce. He works for Gwyneth Paltrow, and I was like, how we and Derek were talking. Like, okay, obviously he's a little he's kind of feminine, kind of like, you know, we don't want him to be like stereotypical kind of guy. So I was like, okay, how do we make the name Gwyneth Paltrow funny? And I tried my Drew Barrymore voice, like Gwyneth Paltrow. And I was like, that's funny because we say the name Gwyneth Paltrow quite a bit in the play. And so, and then I was like, maybe a higher register, like Gwyneth Paltrow, and then give him a clipboard, Gwyneth Paltrow. And then all of a sudden we have our character Bryce.
Yeah.
You know, there's a Karen type of character. So like some YouTube videos of some folks kind of blowing up, you know, kind of inspired that. That's Mrs. Seabag. And she's very, very angry. And so there's a lot. And then lucky us, we have a dialect coach, Bethany Hart, who has helped me learn a French accent, a Puerto Rican accent. And it's just she's also helped me differentiate each character and find different ways to just really kind of jump in, whether it's a line or, like you said, the physicality. So it's been great. We have a really great team. And it's been really wonderful.
Oh my God! Are you just pooped? It's like,
listen, we are meal prepping this weekend. we are not going too hard on the workouts. We are ready. We're getting some good sleep. It's going to be, you know, Tech Week's going to be great, and I'm so excited for opening night. So it's going to be so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's again, the script itself is so freaking funny, and it does have like I said, it does have like the feel. So there's like some emotional payoff, but mostly it's just a great escape to kind of scooch out. You know, scooch out of our real life for a hot second. So this might be a very big assumption on my part, but as theater artists, I'm assuming that you've had to work in customer service yourself at some point.
Oh, baby, yes. I literally had this same job when I was at School of Columbia downtown. I worked at 7 different restaurants. All of them closed with me working at them. So I know quite a bit.
You're the kiss of death.
I thought so. Then I worked at a mortgage company for 10 years, and then I'm not there anymore.
That's just for sanity. But have you had any like real life customer service nightmares?
Oh, for sure. You know, Valentine's Day was always just a crazy thing. You know, I worked at this one restaurant where there were private booths that were really just like dark rooms for like couples to like kind of sit by a candle. And there was always a fight, and like, you know, you could request them, but they're never guaranteed. And so I had a few people come in that were like, there's one left. Okay, great. I'd like that table, but I'm waiting for my other person to come. But it's first come, first serve. So I had to seat the next person that actually requested it with their full party, and then that person that missed out did the whole "let me talk to your manager" thing, tried to get me in trouble kind of thing. It was just very dramatic. So
yeah, you're still thinking about it. It's people
I wake up sometimes in a restaurant. Yeah,
people don't. Scott and I have both waited tables. That was my first job out of college, and everybody. It should be required work for every human.
100%.
Absolutely.
You do not know, and you never lose that. I always try to keep in mind, you don't know what kind of day that server's having. You can't assume anything. And talk to them like they're your friend, not that you're your slave,
help.
Right.
Yeah. But
and tip them.
Yeah.
Yes, and tip them.
And tip them. Tip them well.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I've been a singing and dancing waiter on a boat. I know, it was Spirit of Chicago. I can still do the send-off song.
God.
It's horrible. I've worked in so many different restaurants, and there's something about dealing with the public that really can just stick in there and just give you I'm still mad at this table from the 90s.
I had one. I had one. I worked at TGI Fridays. Boy. Back in the heyday
did you
of
have
the
flair?
Fern bars. We didn't.
It was pre-Flair?
It was pre-Flair.
Alrighty.
It was right when they opened in Chicago. I was the first. Anyway, we got millions of stories about that.
So,
for another show.
So it's something that I think most people can relate to as well, because a lot of people have, waited tables or been in some sort of customer service industry. So it's a perfect night out. But one thing that's really struck me about this production is that this is independently produced, right?
Yes.
So Mike and I had a theater company together from 2016, and then we ended up closing in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic, unfortunately. And that's not the only theater company that's closed in Chicago in the last few years. And I'm just kind of at a point where I want to put on good theater with people that I enjoy working with, and Mike is one of those people. So I'm like, hey, I think this is a small enough project that I can do this, and we can bring together a good group of people to put this play on and just try something new. I think that's been a really exciting part of this aspect of it.
Yeah, what has been the most surprising thing for you as you have dipped your toe now into independently producing shows?
Yeah, I think just selling the show and getting the word out there and promoting the show is probably the biggest hurdle, just because we don't have an email subscriber database, and we don't have social media pages dedicated for the theater company. So this is pretty much just us doing it ourselves and trying to get our friends and get their friends in the seats as well, and just trying to put on a good show.
Fantastic. And Mike, as people are getting ready to buy their tickets to go see Fully Committed, which is a one-person show, very funny one-person show, almost 40 characters. You're going to be playing that at the Den Theater starting March 13th. What do you hope audiences take away from the show?
I just really hope that I just want them to laugh. Really, it's as simple as that. It's a night out. Just laugh. It's not that serious. There's dramatic moments, but come on, let's see some more theater. Let's get out of our apartments. Let's just have some fun. I really miss the community aspect of a lot of Chicago theater and bringing people together just in one room, just to enjoy something, talk about something, see each other. That's what I want. I'm so excited.
Well,
it's going to be so much.
And you
should be, yeah.
You could not pick a better venue as well, because the Den Theater is known as a big comedy venue these days, and it just feels really cool to be there. I always feel very, very cool. I'm not very cool.
The lounge is neat.
I always feel very cool whenever I go there. But it sounds like it's a perfect environment to nurture a place for an escape and just for a night of laughter. So you want to make sure that you check out Fully Committed by Becky Mode. It is starring Mike Newquist and directed by Derek Bertelsen. It's going to be at the Den Theater March 13th through the 28th. Now, for tickets, can they go to the Den Theater, or do they need to go to, where can they go to get tickets there, Derek?
Yeah, go to the Den Theater website and check out the calendar of events there, and you'll definitely find Fully Committed.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Fully Committed, Den Theater, March 13th
Break
to the
a leg.
28th.
Break legs.
Break all the legs.
Thank you.
Break all the legs.
All 40.
Mike Newquist and Derek Bertelsen, thank you so much for joining us. All right.
Thank you,
Thanks,
brother.
guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. We've got to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are chatting with Asher McMaher of Trans Upfront Illinois. So stick around. You're listening to Out Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
If cage walls could talk.
It's the Democracy, Stupid, with Edwin Eisendrath.
Americans in the founding generation didn't fail to build a palace. They chose not to build a palace. George Washington designed the Oval Office, well, its predecessor, so that hierarchies of rank weren't built into gatherings in the space. Trump's Golden Ballroom is the architectural repudiation of those egalitarian ideals.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. on WCPT 820.
You know, winter in Chicago hits hard. Is your home ready to stay warm and energy efficient? At Green Attic, they help you fight back against the cold. They're Chicagoland's trusted experts in attic insulation, spray foam, crawl space encapsulation, and mold remediation, solutions that lock in warmth and cut your heating bills. If your upstairs feels freezing or your furnace never stops running, your attic might be the culprit. Their team seals in comfort and stops energy waste at the source. Need roofing? Their sister company, Green Attic Roofing, offers asphalt, flat, premium roofs, and even Tesla solar roofs, all backed by a 10-year labor warranty and instant online quotes. Winter storms don't wait. Replace that aging roof now and protect your investment. With over 15 years of experience and more than 1,000 five-star reviews, Green Attic delivers real comfort, real savings, season after season. Visit greenattic.com for a free insulation consultation or go to greenatticroofing.com for your instant roofing estimate. Green Attic, healthy home, happy family. Margaret is a 71-year-old widow who came to Brookfield Tax Planning because she was worried her accountant and financial advisor weren't doing enough to reduce her taxes. During their free, no-obligation tax reduction review, it was revealed that Margaret had been overpaying $7,250 each year since her husband passed, $102,000 lost forever due to a lack of proactive tax planning. Her accountant does returns after the year is over when it's too late. Her advisor handles her investments but doesn't reduce her taxes. Once the year ends, tax reduction options shrink to almost nothing. Retirees and business owners should plan ahead now using legal proactive strategies to slash taxes. Stop overpaying. 94% of Brookfield's new clients are shocked that they've been paying too much every year. Call Brookfield Tax Planning at 708-485-3439 or visit brookfieldtaxplanning.com for your free review. You have nothing to lose. That's brookfieldtaxplanning.com.
You're listening to WCPT 820 because facts matter.
I'm Honey West. Welcome to Out Chicago on WCPT.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here, along with Ellen Miller, just rolling along on a Sunday. But hey, this week on Live, Local, and Progressive, you can tune in to hear Joan's conversations with far-right expert Jen Goldbeck, Democratic strategist and podcaster Mike Nellis, University of Chicago political science professor and air power expert Robert Pape, social media personality Brooklyn Dad Defiant, Congresswoman Nikki Budzinski, Illinois Comptroller Susanna Mendoza, and candidates Fritz Kagi, Byron Sitchko Lopez, and Donna Miller. Live, Local, and Progressive weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. Central on WCPT 820 a.m., heartlandsignal.com, and tune in. And speaking of cool people coming up, I'm so happy our next guest is here. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that Trans Upfront has been around for only 1 year. What? They have been a huge presence at protests against this awful administration and fighting for trans rights. And now it is time to celebrate with the Light the Way Soiree. Joining us now back on the show is Executive Director for Trans Upfront Illinois, Asher McMaher. Asher, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love coming and speaking with you.
Look, I cannot believe it's been only a year since Trans Upfront Illinois has been doing this work. How are you holding up?
You know, as an organization, we turn 1 year old, so we're having our birthday party this month. But our organization itself and our board has been doing this work 5 to 10 years each.
Okay.
So we came into this with the background already, with our eyes wide open and ready to dive head in. But yes, only a year feels like 5, but also feels like it was just yesterday.
I know. Like it really, like it, let me tell you again, in a year of activism and community organizing and watching folks come together to stand up for what they believe is true and right, fighting for democracy, every time there was a protest or a parade or a moment, Trans Up Front Illinois was there, and usually up front, you know. I'm like, there they are. There they are.
Even today, we ran to, right now, the Women's March is going on. Our team is there running the accessibility section, media, making sure there's a person who's a speaker who is a wheelchair, making sure she has access to be able to be on the same platform. We have volunteers. So we try to make sure, even if it's not our fight, but where there is support for others and lifting them up.
Yeah, well, because, you know, my word this year, I don't make New Year's resolutions. I focus on an intention, and my word that I'm focusing on is community. It is about supporting community. It is about creating community. It's about lifting each other up, which seems to be the model of Trans Up Front Illinois, because you've partnered with many organizations throughout over this last year, and it really is heartening, you know, to see people coming together for a common cause.
Yeah, our motto is community first, ego last, because so often we get caught up in the individual and we forget that we're here to service others. And this past year, we've partnered with 74 organizations statewide.
Yeah.
Asher, what in your life experience has led you to the role you're playing today, and what makes you so successful at it?
So this is not a secret. I'm a former kid in care. I'm a former foster child. And so I think part of living in that world and growing up, especially in the 90s as a gay kid in the foster system, you learn how to be, you know, a little scrappy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And you really learn about endurance and being able to get yourself through every obstacle and learn from it. And my trans child is a hate crime victim, and I watched her go through something really awful with her biological parent, and she, the same thing, just channeled just being an incredible activist and added that. And so when we started this organization, it was 2 trans people who happen to have a trans child who also happen to have cis children. I keep wanting to remind people that we're not all trans in this household.
Right.
But, my son even sat me down and said, I'm a boy and staying a boy. Like, he came out.
Okay. They made it clear.
Well, there we are.
That's
there
his
we are.
prerogative.
Clear, right?
Yep. Beautiful.
And we were already out in the public. My daughter, my 14-year-old daughter, was already a public figure. She's already been in the media. I've been doing this work for 10 years in Chicagoland. And so we made the decision, we're already out there. And this administration is targeting, people like me. And we said, well, we can't put it back in the box. We had a conversation as a family and we said, okay, we're all in. And we just had an overwhelming amount of support within our first 6 days of planning our first protest. We had almost 30 organizations backing us.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Well, and I know, like, your presence has been very bolstering to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I know I have a friend of mine who is the parent of a trans child who you've changed her life. Your organization and you in particular have demonstrated what it means to have a servant's heart and to the healing part of action. It's so easy for us to fall into despair right now, but when you can actually do something, take an action, it helps with that. And I know she's had quite a journey into her world of activism, and it is because of the work that Trans Up Front Illinois has been doing. So I thank you personally, just as watching my friend just kind of blossom and feel like in a time where everything feels like the world is falling underneath our feet, that there is some firm ground. So thank you for that.
Yeah, of course. And this is, something I hear all the time. Our parents want so much to uplift, support, protect their young ones. And this federal administration is making them feel helpless.
Mm-hmm.
And our organization not only will step in and help in those times, but we center trans joy. We center community. So we're not living in the heavy. We're also making sure there's opportunities that trans youth can see trans adults, that trans adults can see trans elders, that parents can see parents who happen to be trans parenting, that they can see a future for their child, that a child can see a future for themselves. And that is just one of the many tools in our toolbox to make sure that everyone is able to endure this administration and thrive.
Yeah. Well, and it's not just the administration. I mean, like states are going kooky pants. This whole thing with situation with Kansas, taking away and you no longer have a driver's license as of today. Like, wait, what? The attacks are seemingly endless,
fast and furious.
But it is also time, as you said, to center joy around that. And so you're coming up for to celebrate your birthday of Trans Upfront Illinois with the Light the Way Soiree on March 21st. Can you tell our listeners what you have planned for that?
Yeah, I'm so excited because even though, we all go to a lot of fundraisers, right? I think if you're in the nonprofit world, they start feeling like this, copy and paste. And we wanted to do something really different. We serve youth. We wanted it to be fun. So it's a cocktail style event, open bar, great food, great performers. We actually have these phones, which one of them is next to me right now, where you can pick up a phone and leave a message for a family, anonymous message, and they'll be able to get the voice messages. They'll also be transcribed to families throughout the entire state of Illinois. And so everything we do is really about how can we create more joy after this? What can we do moving forward? And so we have that. We have 3 awards that we're giving out. Shannon Lynn Parker, Indivisible Chicago, and Leo Wilder, who was our awardee for our Radiant Leadership Award, which was voted on statewide. They're a trans educator who actually opened a school for trans and neurodiverse kids in Central Illinois when they were experiencing bullying. So I know, right? Mind blowing. So excited to meet them for the first time at our soiree, and we're giving them a grant as well as part of the
beautiful.
To uplift that work. And we're just so excited to come together in community. We have an incredible DJ. We have Rosbot as one of our main performers, who's this trans clown dancer,
as you do,
performer, just a little bit fun. We want to have fun. We don't want it to just be this, you're sitting at a table and listening to us talk. The program is short and sweet. That way we can really just focus on being in community with each other.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be a fabulous night. So right now, I know the Women's March is happening right now. What future events do you have that are coming up? I know we're all getting ready for the March 28th.
No Kings again. Yep.
Again, but what? Are there anything specifically, like some action items that Trans Upfront Illinois is going to be taking soon?
Trans Day of Visibility is coming up.
It is.
Our TVOV protest, 2nd annual. We're going all in. Last year we had the estimate was about 7,000. We're going this year for 15 to 20. We believe that we can do it. It's run by Trans Upfront in partnership with Equality Illinois, Life is Work, and the Chicago Therapy Collective to be truly trans-led organizations. We already have over 50 endorsed organizations, elected officials, and we are about a month away. It's going to be April 4th because No King stole our weekend. Visibility. And while we could merge the issues, we do feel with the current political climate, we need our space. So of course we'll be there to support No Kings. We are part of the No Kings team. We've been part of the No Kings team, but we are also going to be making sure we're amplifying that support. And we know in Chicagoland, we are in a place of privilege that we can all come together where other states we can't. As you talked about Kansas, we're a part of an initiative right now. We're helping raise funds directly for families in Kansas. We're helping them move. We partner with 2 other organizations. We've helped cover cost of ID changes, Uber costs, they can get places, etc. And so, we want to make sure anyone who sees on the news that we showed up and showed out for Trans Day of Visibility, that they can see that nationwide, that there's people fighting for them.
And remind our listeners the date of that moment, because I know the Trans Day of Visibility is at the end of March, but this is going to be the first weekend of April.
Correct. So Trans Day of Visibility is March 31st. It's a Tuesday. And because we like to be family friendly, it's going to be April 4th. It's a Saturday. So it is the day before Easter, but we're still going to be out, rain or shine. We're hoping this year we don't get soaked through, but if we do, we're not going to stop.
Oh, that's right. Last year was so rainy, wasn't it?
What happens in April?
It was very bizarre because it was so warm out in March. And then we started the march. We're about halfway through and the sky opened. It was like the raindrops were massive and you were soaked through instantly. And the police pulled me out of the protest and go, "Do you want to just stop here?" And I'm like, "Where am I going to leave all? I mean, there's 5,000 people behind me." No, we're not stopping. And honestly, no one stopped. Like everyone kept going. We returned back to Federal Plaza and people said that, it almost made it stronger and people were prepared. I was so surprised. People were packing taping their posters beforehand or having them in bags. Like, we're ponchoing their protest signs to keep going. And,
I love that. Yeah.
It wasn't until the very end when we were all just wet and it wasn't raining anymore that my teens were like, "I'm over this."
Right, I'm done. Right.
But no, it was very empowering, and we're really excited. Exactly 2 weeks after our soiree will be this, so we're a little bit crazy town right now.
Yeah,
right.
A lot on your plate.
Yeah.
We're insane all the time, but we had 3 events at the same time yesterday for our organization. Like at the same time.
How many people work with you? How many are on your staff?
Yeah, so we have 2 paid employees.
Oh, wow.
Period. Our board, so we have 3 boards. Right now, that's 19 people total. We're our new cohorts of our Parent and Caregiver Advisory Board, our Accessibility Advisory Board, and our Teen Advisory Board open up in April. So for our next year. And then we have over 100 active volunteers statewide right now. We're in the process of helping with 2 bills with this session. We're writing 2 more. So we have an entire policy side as well as a side that's working on a research study. We have people who work in graphic design and art as well as a way to bring information to people. We have a educator committee. We have a parent support group. We have so many things, but last we checked, we had over 100 active volunteers on top of our board.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We're very tiny organization funding, so we don't have the ability to pay people just yet. One day,
but
just yet. But it's only been a year. Come on, Asher.
You know, I have ambitions. Anyone who knows me knows that I don't do anything small.
No, you don't.
Oh, clearly.
As the world can see with Trans Upfront. But we just passed our 1,000 new intake for support. About 2 weeks ago. So that means we have talked to 1,000 unique families or households or individuals who have needed support in one of our departments. So it just shows that the work we're doing is vital and that there's a need for it. And so even though right now we can't pay people the way that I wish, and we're all working I work 7 days a week. It's worth it. It's worth it to make sure that every family knows that they have someone there for them.
Beautiful.
Ugh, all right. Now I'm going to start crying. Oh, stop doing that. Okay. Yeah, no, it really is like my friend, her entree into the activism world was that Trans Day of Visibility March. And it was a very special moment for her to find community, to be uplifted by community, and to help support, which is her community. And it was a very important moment. And I remember the rain that happened, and I think you said like there was something about how that was a galvanizing moment for that community. Like we're battling the elements and we're still going to have our voices heard.
It brings out the best in people when they're under that kind of challenge, I think sometimes.
I mean, Chicago Tribune photos of the year. One of the photos in there is our protest and people being blown over by rain.
Yep.
There you go.
And I was like, it was a historic moment for us in a way. And I think it's something we'll be talking about for years to come. And I know you are coming to our soiree.
I am.
Is your friend coming to our soiree?
She is. She's my date.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes. And look, if you, if folks aren't available on the 21st for the Light the Way Soiree, can people still like donate, or will there be any sort of like online component to the gala?
A silent auction or
anything like that?
So you can always donate on our website. We have a lot of ways that you can donate, from Venmo, Cash App, card, PayPal. Our platform is plentiful. For the soiree, we wanted to go a little more minimal. So for our silent auction, we only have 5 items.
Great.
They're baskets. So super easy. People can literally take them day of. So there won't be an online component for this. There are still tickets available. We actually had an amazing donor purchase a whole bunch of tickets to be able to give out to community members who can't afford it. So if anyone's listening in and is like, I really want to attend, but financial barrier, reach out to us. We have a ticket for you. We still want you to come be in community. We understand that every person can spend $100 on a ticket. And we had an amazing community leader purchase $1,000 in tickets to be able to give them to people. So we definitely still want you there if you're able to join us on the 21st. And then, of course, regardless, join us on the 4th. Hit the streets, shut down Michigan Avenue. I say we're going to go on a really loud walk.
Yes.
I love it. I love a loud walk. Any good old Saturday. A rain-free loud walk.
Yes.
Yeah. We were saying last year, it wasn't until October, we said that the weather was homophobic or transphobic. So the weather is transphobic. We had a snowstorm in our very first protest. We protested with 700 people outside of Lurie during a snowstorm.
Wow.
I didn't realize how heavy it was snowing until I looked back, and also my partner was like, yeah, I was emptying your hoodie of like,
snow.
And that was also the first time that they decided they wanted to attach I'm only 5 feet tall. People don't realize that. But they wanted to attach a balloon to me because they kept losing me in the crowd.
Oh, my God.
Well,
that's hilarious.
You're doing whatever you need to do. Yeah.
TDOV, it poured, right? So we went from a snowstorm to pouring. Unite for Trans Lives, we had a lightning storm. For Skirmetti, we had a heat wave. It was 97 degrees.
The weather is transphobic.
The weather is transphobic. It was our field day in October. We had over 150 people join us. Kickball, all sack races. I mean, like just a day of joy in the park. It was perfect fall weather. We couldn't have asked for a better day. And I was like, we finally broke the curse.
Yes.
Yes. It's about time.
I know, right? So we're going to continue to hope, and even if the weather is being a little transphobic, we're always prepared. I mean, when there was a heat wave, we showed up with instant ice packs, bottles of water. We're always looking through things through the lens of harm reduction. We make sure we bug our very funded partners to donate things to us, and we make sure that there are tents set up. I mean, when we had that heat wave, we had 300 instant ice packs donated to us. We were making sure people were taken care of. So we're always going to make sure people are taken care of to the best of our ability.
Got your bases covered.
Marshals and medics and all that.
Well, and we need to do our part to make sure that you feel taken care of. And I cannot think of a better way to support an incredible organization like Trans Up Front Illinois, like going to the Light the Way Soiree that's going to be on March 21st. And also don't miss the Trans Day of Visibility that will be on April 4th. For more information about this incredible organization, to make a donation, to just give some love, go to transupfrontil.com. Asher McMaher, Executive Director of Trans Up Front Illinois. Thank you for taking time out today to join us. Thank you for all of the incredible and tireless work that you and the organization do. And yeah, I can't wait to see you on the 21st.
Yeah, thanks for all you do, for sure.
Yeah, of course. I can't wait to see you, and I'm always love coming on and chatting with you both.
Well, the door is always open, and
absolutely.
So come on, but you might be busy. You got some stuff on your
tiny
plate.
bit. Asher's just a
You know
bit
how to get a
busy.
hold of me. Contact me anytime.
Thanks, Asher.
Well, I hope you can enjoy some of the sunshine today and take a breath as you are heading into some crazy weeks ahead of you. Again, Asher McMaher of Transit Front Illinois. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is the final thrilling show-stopping moments about Chicago right here on WCPT Heartland Signal.
Hey, looking for a winning team on a winning station? You found it right here on WCPT 820 AM. Join the marvelous one, Dan Marver, the fallacious one, Paul Shivari, Sports on the Couches, Mike Mercado, and yours truly, Devin Tingle, every Sunday at 9 p.m. for the Sports Cubicle, where the inmates run the asylum, and the boss, well, they yell at us on Monday morning because we're working overtime. Looking for your late night dose of sports talk radio? We're here. Join us on the Sports Cubicle Sunday nights at 9 p.m.
Dive deeper into the heart of the news and stories at WCPT 820 and across the Midwest by checking out our website, heartlandsignal.com.
It's the coverage I can count on every time.
For the latest news updates, in-depth analysis, compelling stories, comprehensive election coverage, live streams, and thought-provoking opinions, head to heartlandsignal.com.
When I need to know, they're there.
They keep me informed and updated wherever I am.
Stay informed with WCPT 820, your go-to source for where facts matter.
Experience one of opera's most heartbreaking love stories, Puccini's Madama Butterfly at Lyric Opera of Chicago, March 14th through April 12th. With soaring melodies, stunning visuals, and powerful emotion, Madama Butterfly tells the tragic tale of a young woman's devotion and sacrifice. Don't miss this unforgettable masterpiece that continues to move audiences around the world. Madama Butterfly. Tickets at lyricopera.org.
Excuse me, miss. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can you recommend a bank that offers a full suite of commercial banking products along with excellent service?
Yes, ABOC.
What about a bank that has been in Chicago for more than 100 years and really understands the local business climate?
ABOC.
But I manage a labor union. Can you recommend a bank that really understands how labor unions operate and what banking products they need?
Again, ABOC. ABOC first opened its doors in downtown Chicago in 1922 and understands the local business climate better than anyone. ABOC was founded by labor unions and still has union employees and shareholders today, so they really understand how unions tick and how their needs may be different. But whether you're with a labor union or another type of business, whether you're large or small or something in between, ABOC will always make you feel like you're their most important customer. Visit aboc.com to learn more.
Wow, thank you, random person on the street. I'm going to visit aboc.com today.
Member FDIC.
This is the WCPT Moment in Labor. In 2011, 6 Jimmy John's employees in Minneapolis were fired by their franchise-owning company, Mickey Lynn Enterprises, after fighting for paid sick days. This is a common theme in the union-free world of fast food. Over 13 million Americans work in the fast food industry, making an average of $13,500 a year, not even half the average cost of living. 80% of fast food workers have experienced work-related injuries, and only 13% were covered by their employer. A group of employees referred to as the Jimmy John's Six fought for these rights, creating an online campaign, posting a picture of 2 sandwiches saying one of these was made by a healthy employee, the other was made by a sick employee. Can you tell the difference? Too bad, as Jimmy John's workers do not get paid sick days. Help workers win sick days. More than 32 million Americans work a job that does not offer paid sick days. This has been a WCPT Moment in Labor. We're working for your rights.
Alexa, play WCPT.
WCPT from TuneIn.
I'm David Dodd with the Chicago Black Gay Men's Caucus. Welcome back to Out Chicago on WCPT 820.
Welcome back to Out Chicago. Scott Duff here and Ellen Miller rolling along. Hey, you know what? People are always asking what they can do to support what we do here at WCPT.
Yes.
And Heartland Signal. You know, as always, best thing you can do, please support our sponsors. Tell them you appreciate that they advertise with us. Go and give them some love. But hey, if you're on Facebook, you might not know this, but there's another way. You can now subscribe to the WCPT 820 and the Heartland Signal Facebook pages. It's just 99 cents a month. That's like cheaper than Sally Struthers asking us for, it's like for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, right,
99 cents a month, not even a day, a month.
That's unbelievably reasonable.
And we're going to have some special offers to our subscribers coming soon. So visit us, WCPT 820, Chicago's Progressive Talk, and Heartland Signal on Facebook, and hit that subscribe button. Also, again, cannot stress this enough. The primaries are happening.
Yes.
Like the early voting is happening
right now.
The primary happens on the 17th, and we've got the midterm elections. They're less than 8 months away, and WCPT is posting all of our candidate interviews at heartlandsignal.com/candidates. You can visit the page to hear and share the latest interviews, including our recent conversations with congressional candidates Kevin Morrison, Kat Abergazala, Daniel Biss, and Mike Simmons. You can find the candidates interview tab at the top of our website, heartlandsignal.com.
Yeah.
I'm getting so many.
Ads.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know why I've been dodging a bullet with this because I don't watch TV much anymore. I hang out with my dog is what I do. But the flyers that are coming in the mail, that's so old school, but it's still happening. There's so much stuff coming. The ads are going crazy. I was walking my dog this morning and my neighbor was like, "Oh, daylight," doing stupid daylight savings stuff, and he's like, "Man, these ads are just killing me." I'm like, "Ugh, imagine what it's like to be in Iowa, around."
This time of year.
Well, caucus time, it's always just kooky pants.
It's we hadn't turned the television on in 2 weeks, and we turned on this morning. I like to watch CBS in the morning and on Sundays, and Juliana Stratton must be gaining some traction because I've been looking at Raja Krishnamurthy's ads, and they're all about they're effective, anti-Trump and all of that. But now he's attacking her. So I'm like, what happened since I've been gone?
Because there's a lot of stuff coming out about Raja's connections and getting money from
MAGA, and then he's accusing her of it in the ads. I noticed this morning. So
all right.
I don't know. It's look, we're going to have a Democratic senator in this state. No question about it.
No doubt.
I am a believer that the more women of color that we have in the Senate, I don't care how qualified the white male, or in his case, he's a man of Indian origin. I want more women. I don't care. I'm going to vote that way, too.
Right.
I'm going to vote for women and women of color.
Well, next Sunday, we're going to have Congresswoman Robin Kelly on the show.
Another great one.
We have an embarrassment of riches for our Senate candidate.
We do. They're going to be any one of the three are going to be very good. But, we don't have very many women in the Senate. No. Jasmine Crockett, that was a heartbreak. But I also...
that whole thing. Boy, oh boy, what a tricky situation that is. Because, man, oh man, Jasmine Crockett, huge fan. I've been a fan of hers almost
since she opened her mouth on
one. Yes. Because she's not afraid.
No.
She doesn't take any BS.
No.
She's breaks things down very... It's in easily digestible things, and is very practical. Watching her go after Kristi Noem, will break everything down. Let's talk about it legally.
Very effective.
And she's very effective. She does not care. She cares. She's very passionate, but she's also no, we're just going to cut through all this BS. Such a huge force within Congress. And then we have James Tellerico, who, with his Baptist background and a more moderate approach to politics, as opposed to coming in and being a really aggressive fighter, he's appealed as somebody who could, I don't know, maybe play to both sides or work across the aisle.
Yeah.
I was devastated. I was really sad that Jasmine Crockett did not get it.
A double-edged sword, because look, I sadly do not believe this country is anywhere close to electing a woman or a woman of color after what we've seen, that who beat both Hillary and Kamala, who were qualified, exceptional candidates. And I see Tellerico as someone that, as you said, can reach across the aisle and speak their language, especially when it comes to these faux Christians, and really put it to them about what the tenets of Christianity really mean.
Yeah.
And I think for the state of Texas, as much as I love Jasmine, I think that someone like him might make more inroads. That's just where we're at. It's still a man's world, and it stinks, but we have to win. You know, I don't even want to see another presidential candidate in the near future that's a woman, because I do not trust this country. This country cannot be trusted without being misogynist and sexist.
Yep.
We already know there's a racist element, and that we have these other elements too. So, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I really, you know.
Did you, by any chance, hear his speech after he won the primary? Let me tell you. He knocked it out of the park.
Oh, he's great. I've heard him.
He knocked it out of the park, and he talked a lot about his Christian faith. He talked about his upbringing. He also was there to like, hey, everybody, we need to, this is not left versus right. This is top versus bottom. And I was like, well, you might need to be a little careful with that.
That analogy.
On that analogy with certain communities. But it's like, it's about the 1% at the top, keeping everybody down.
Yeah.
And he brought up how Jesus was, like, if Jesus was around today, most of these right-wing conservatives would not like him, because he would go in and like, he saw the corruption of what was happening with the powerful at the top. And what did he do? This rabbi, this barefooted rabbi, went into their places and they flipped the tables, and like literally he flipped tables over to stop them. And he ended his speech with like, let's start flipping tables, and using it in a biblical way that I'm like, all right, his messaging is great.
Yeah, I think he's an important tool in getting us further along when it comes to getting Democratic support across the country and having people cross over and say, wow.
But I don't know. Yeah, I still wish it was Jasmine.
It saddened me horribly, because she had to resign. She's not going to be in Congress either, so. There'll be somewhere for her. There's a place for her.
You're not going to be able to keep her down.
No way.
At all.
No way.
Anyway, we need to stop talking because it's the end of the
I guess
show.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, I want to thank all of our guests today. Zoey Carter, again, she's running for Illinois State Legislature for the 93rd. Transit Front Illinois Executive Director Asher McMaher, and Mike Newquist and Derek Bertelsen of Fully Committed. Devin, thank you so much for everything that you do. Paul, wonderful to have you back. Happy belated birthday, or a belated happy birthday to you, because you were off last week.
Wishes.
Ellen, wonderful to have you back.
Good to be back in the saddle with you, Scott.
And I am Scott Duff. And until next week, stay proud.